And you saw the best of them on that CT side over on Ancient, even though there wasn't really much in terms of speaking. Obviously, we saw them get that pistol, get a little bit of life and that slight little glimmer of hope in that second half. So for them to start on the CT side, as you mentioned, get into the comfortable stances, play more of the standard sort of defensives and try see how far you can go on a map like Overpass, which has got some respectable CT sides of their own right. That's going to be the key sort of component, again, for the Victory Zigzag camp. Just get yourselves a little bit of decency, see if you can go deep in this map up, but it's unlikely that they're going to win it. I think the realism has got to show up here. 9 already involved in the pistol round. mertz actually going to strike with the opening kill, but Hades will take him down immediately in that mid face. Bubble makes his way around the corner, and Kai's going to cut him off, and GruBy towards long. 2 players left standing, 1 mid, 1 B, 4 on 2 again for 9, as they have been so many times in this match.
And I think it just shows there how tight the timing was for that being a completely different round. If there was a little bit more distraction being pulled out there towards a fountain control, down towards the front side of party, and out there towards sort of the bathrooms area, they might have just been able to beat them to the punch, but it came in a little bit too late of that long extension. Kai wraps it up easily, and Propler will be the first line of defense out here towards Dumpster.
Him and mertz, 2 very different positions, so it really is just down to Propler to see if he can make a hero play. USP takes face and sees the first individual out, unable to connect that shot of the USP. Plant is secured. mertz will try flank in from the mid position, but he's being marked here by Goofy. Headshots gained effective and easy. And now Propler and try his best to fight onto Kai, get that 1 headshot, 3 more to find, and now they're going to adjust against the position. 1 player seen at dice, 1 unknown passed out long. Damage will just chip away at the HP bars, but for Propler, he needs the definitive kills. He needs to act quick, he's got no kit in play. And this will be the pistol, it seems, for 9.
Yeah, Propler just being wasted of so much of that time because of those distractions. You've got a lurk from Goofy coming out towards that B side, so there should be no way that Propler stays alive. Does at least do a little bit more amount of economical damage right at the end there. Can he get this last kill onto Goofy? No, not quite. 9 secure the pistol round victory. And I suppose not only for the level here for Victory Zigzag, but just from the basis that the lower bracket round 1 game is just after this one, you want to be making sure that Spirits are at least in a good position. If you lose 16-4 and 16-4, I would imagine that morale is just completely destroyed going into that lower bracket round 1 game.
You can imagine so. Pretty likely to stake some bets on the fact that their mentality state is going to be wrecked. How do Victory Zigzag bounce back from a defeat like that? The question on our minds as well as theirs. Kyler, however, question on his mind is, how do I keep them even more so in the dumps? Brag onto GruBy already with that Mat 10, 1 of 2 in play. Of course, the buybacks. Be confident there for 9 in the second round. The Force investing, only the SMGs and Deagles and a scout for the CT side. See whether one of those Deagles can work well for mertz. Unfortunately, unable to. Should get Force back.
And just knowing that even the long walks come out and it's completely unknown. This is an easy kill out from Minio, and now mertz is just surrounded completely. Trapped in and around the smoke, can't even get away with 1 kill. 9 just working that default quite easily. Kai could even do some extra damage out here towards B. Get those last couple of kills. Not a single casualty there for 9 on the anti-eco.
It was like that a lot in the early few rounds as well in that last map of Ancient. The confidence continuing to brim for 9, and Victory Zigzag will have no further chances to try and harm them at this stage. Of course, forced in that previous round, therefore harsh eco in the next. This one should be a formality, seeing whether Kyler and Minio especially can get their Mat 10s inserted and cash built up upon here on the T side. So formalities here for round 3. Seeing if Victory Zigzag can just do anything with the few upgrades they've got.
Now, we saw the International Mix squad winning round 4 and winning round 15 in that first half. There was some long and extended streaks of rounds in a row. Minio does get caught off guard by a nice well-timed flash, so that's at least information to start driving that bomb into the B side.
Kyler also does get overwhelmed here, but those are just the SMGs drop, so they won't be too fussed about things. This might be a little bit more concerning for Goofy, being flanked in the back and front. Engages 1 and 2 and doesn't quite win that second. So actually, it's a semi-expensive round with one of the AKs dropping in the hands of Hades. mertz, that Mat 10 upgrade can come to fruition. Him and Bubble with a couple of weapons that they can play with. Kai needs to make his move around towards that B site pretty quickly. They'll tap the bomb once. He won't get forced out as of yet, although they're hoping that he tries to make a mistake. Second tap gives up the game. What's going on here? Base fire. mertz goes down. Last player standing at bubble. Galil versus AK, and it's the AK that will continue to draw him away from the bomb site, eventually win the engagement itself. But 4 players down. That's the expense that VZ were looking for.
I mean, Kai just realizes in that 1v2, I have so much time on my side. They're not going to have a kit in that round at all, because it's a very light eco. So he knows that they're not going to stick at 10 seconds from the absolute get-go. So work your way out from Monster. Get in towards a short pipe. Eventually look out towards that bomb as soon as you hear that second tap come in. And just wait. Play the time. It's on your side. A very good clutch in the 1v2. But you're right. That was very expensive. And now Victory Zigzag have a perfect opportunity of really trying to reset the economy. But they have to come through in round 4.
mertz's AWP scoped up. Hunting for Minio and lands a pretty crispy flick. That's a bit more like it. That's the star power we're hoping for out of this team. And to start in the round, where does it go from here?
Well, for 9, it's just about working some of this map control now. Kai has got quite a bit of space up here towards the short water angle. GruBy's got a little bit of an off out here towards the left-hand side of the pillar. And just when he moves away on that timing, that's when the strike kill comes through from Kai.
Brings it into an even standing. Trading back off a stellar start. 9 on even footing for a chance at the B bomb site. They're going to walk their way up and into the monster control and out onto that B site, getting Mups bubble with a trade, not the second. Advantage regained by 9 in the end. The AWP still involved though. mertz brings it to a 2-on-2, hoping for lucky no-scope shots, but no such luck available today. Plant is secured, the retake is on.
Yeah, Propler's coming in quick and making noise out here towards the short water control. It comes down to Kyler and Hades to work off one another in the 2v2.
Well, now Kyler's gone to the AWP shot through the smoke. Now Hades his own AWP up to clutch it. Must know where Propler's coming in from. Sees that shoulder. Gets that shot. Now where is mertz? He's grabbed the kit. Is he aware that Hades has run back? He's trying to make noise. He's trying to force that player off, but he's not moving. mertz knows what's going on. Intelligence to understand Hades' play. And the 3K on the big green to get the Victory Zigzag side started much earlier on here on Overpass.
Just a very good round coming through from mertz. That opening man advantage that was gained out there to the party. How quickly he was on response of being able to provide impact. Kyler dropping on that post plant just on the edge of the smoke out from heaven. And Victory Zigzag will be very happy with that first round gained.
It's a start for them. A lot more to go, as we've seen how quickly these matches can spiral out of control. 9 are still poised to do some work. The bomb plant bonus going to make up for the lost investment in the previous round. So weapons will be afforded. The 9 economy stimulated. Victory Zigzag still have to rest on those FAMASs on GruBy and Propler, so it's not ideal for them.
Yeah, Propler, of course, having a very long stint out on 1 win. After that, we saw him on Trident, playing on NASA, but haven't really seen him in the fold of the higher end of Tier 2 and playing consistently on a team level. I'm sure he'll be looking at whether they have to face off 1 win and face off against his ex-team down in that lower bracket run, or whether 1 win can come out on top, beating NIP. I wonder how many upsets get caused in this first round of the upper bracket.
Would you say 1 win beating NIP would be an upset?
I wouldn't say it would be an upset, but I'd say it's a very good victory. It's proving ground to issue a result against a Tier 1 caliber squad, because their online results have been really strong recently for 1 win.
I'd say it's a bit more of an even kill to kind of match up. I wouldn't be shocked to see 1 win beating out NIP personally.
I mean, even the Apex game, I mean, that's going quite the distance. Bet Boom winning the first map up against OG, their map pick. And 1 win and NIP still ongoing, trying to see if they can just get that final few rounds to overcome it all.
And of course here on this match, 9, 2 rounds up against Victory Zigzag. Got to be a follow-up from the CT side. Got to be a bit more from the defensive line. Doing well. Find themselves up on position in that last one. The mertz's AWP especially. Now that they know that he's a threat, they're going to try and avoid that mid and long position. Play heavy out towards the B play. Might even just be a set-piece execution.
And MupsG getting up there towards that grill position. GruBy can take the first point of contact from the monster wall, or at least fade that smoke and see if he can catch any stragglers. And for 9, this will be a monster pop.
Smoke's getting in the way. They're trying to stall for time. They're going to make their way ahead of it. And Mups is caught napping. The flashbang's late, but it doesn't matter. GruBy can only get one trade, and the B site's fallen with it. Those A site players are already saving.
Now, see you later. 9 going in with what had to be the monster pop, even with that resmoke going down towards monster. They had no map control towards A. They didn't have leverage of cancelling and being able to double pump or start working that map control elsewhere. I mean, just a perfectly timed flash up to MupsG, up there towards that grill position. At any time you're up in that advanced angle, you need to be getting impact straight away. And if you're not getting that kill on that first contact, that's it. You're just going to get ripped apart.
And there's the 4th instant response from 9. Zigzag recognizing that they have to hold on to these guns because they kind of needed this round to keep the economy going. AWP, M4 for Mars, early call-in save, right opportunity, right time to do so. Drop a few more, get another decent buy out of this round. It won't be perfect. Again, still got that for Mars for Propler. But even so, it is Rifles that will be up against 9 here.
Now that's a very unfortunate round there from Victory Zigzag. You've just had a good round, you've just had a good clutch, and again, you're back on an economical turmoil where you're struggling to get a strong rifle round together. And 9 just know, win round 6 and we'll be able just to speed run these rounds.
Mertz straight up and into the connected control. He's burning to that Molotov, 8 points of health. Somehow getting away alive against the other 3 T-side players that are up there. 9 choosing not to engage. It's an advantage by default here.
And it's very disciplined there from 9. Once they throw the molly, to not be over-facing, to be expecting in a round like this that the AWP wants a high-risk play to try and work an opening man advantage. And Mertz going to be repositioning back out towards that divider control while 9 start regrouping the short water. This could be another lean late round into the B side.
Nade sent with the flashes over. Kai going to be the first man out. GruBy keeping himself tucked away behind Toxic, not seen there. Kai's caught Mups instead with a gap in that smoke, and Minio can follow suit with the wide face on the bomb site itself, remove GruBy from play. 5 on 3 again for 9. At least Zigzag is setting up for exit frag positions. I don't think they go for the retake here, though.
No, not at all. And try and see if they can boost anyone up towards heaven. Mertz can just get one more kill. Look out towards the pillar angle. 9. I mean, this is so similar to how the first half went down, where there's very few chances. There aren't many rounds that we can look at in the first 6 here, Overpass, and say, yep, Victory Zigzag should have won that one.
Another round for 9. Bit of a common saying over the course of the day so far. For a right good reason. Again, at least the weapon staying in for the 3 players of Victory Zigzag. There was a nice attempt at getting a HE there, but it was a little bit too short. Idea was there. Execution less so. And again, there's some cash to play with for Victory Zigzag. With the 3 weapons that they saved in, however, then they want to go a little bit more lighter around these guns, get a true buy in the next.
And they'll still probably set up the rifles to have a little bit of a lean, a bit of a high-risk maneuver to get an opening man advantage again. You've got to try and get impact out of them. Bubble playing out towards Connector with that M4. You've got the FAMAS looking up towards Party. And now for the first time, the AWP of Mertz working out to the B side.
Find success with it. Kai down. Monster mopped up. And an advantage for Victory Zigzag. How long will it stay there for, though? Is there a trade available for 9? Not right now. Will there become one at some point? Most likely. Will they capitalize upon it? Well, guess we're about to find out.
Oh, GruBy's going to get caught in a timing here. He's going to try and make an info play towards Monster, and this is just a massive regroup. So unfortunate, but look at that. Mertz backing up his buddy nicely, gets another kill. Advantage
stays with the CT side. Kyler lead the charge. The bomb carrier right behind him. Minio got to get set up by Hades' flash. Mups are going to get caught blinded by the AWP of Mertz, though. continuing to hit shots with a 3K. Finally, Hades deals with him in a 2-on-2. Deagle and Famas left on defense and retake. Oh, and Mups gives away his position. That bomb is on site to get planted.
Oh, Propler out towards a short control. Can't even deny the bomb from going down because he has to still wait out this volley. And it's even being held by the NWP from Hades. He's waiting for that refrag.
Just wary of where he's going to come from, though. He's got to play double duty to both short and monster. They're considering the potential of a rotate. Propler heard some footsteps on bridge, wondering if they went for the full-blown commitment towards A. Instead, it was all a ruse for Minio. It's worked perfectly. Propler will go back into that A defense and see nothing here. Recognize that he's made a key mistake. 1-on-2 for the clutch. Is he going to go for a retake? I mean, he is rotating.
He's definitely considering it. I mean, he might as well. Money's a pretty good position. They're still going to get a buy into the next round. Didn't quite happen. I mean, it's unfortunate that mertz dies out there directly on the B side, that he didn't die somewhere up towards A or even out towards Heaven, because you could have looked at that round and said, right, well, Propler can just go in and save that AWP. mertz had high levels of impact in that last round, but it still wasn't quite enough to turn it into a round victory. So you wonder, now we get into a rifle round, now that there's a decent amount of cash in the float, they can bring that AWP back out and now facilitate it with rifles across the board of the M4s.
mertz again with that AWP straight up into the birthday party position. Molotov off this time as Naya starting to get a read on his common angles. Bubble, however, is the first striker. Kai down outside of Monster. Mup spotting Minio and eventually going to capitalize on that kill alongside GruBy. A 5-on-3, a two-man advantage this time for the CT side.
Yeah, that was a real gimmicky smoke out there towards a short water control to allow mupsg to work on the front side of it. And 9 did not give them the respect of holding short water. They wanted to contest for it. Now, one thing that Kyler can at least try and hold is them being able to not relocate, for them to get back out towards that B side. But Goofy and him need to work together on separating these two players, and mupsg makes it another frag here from the CT side, backed up by another one for GruBy.
Waited patiently to take the right kill at the right moment, and from here, Hades has not much else that he can do. Propler on the flank will catch him off in the end. And there's the second round for victory Zigzag. Of course, 9 have stacked up multiple in a row, and again, they've built the economy state because of the T-side benefits, so here come the guns back for them once again. All 5 AKs are standard. And now we need to see a follow-up here from the Zigzag squad.
Now, it's intriguing to note there that there was another AWP that could have been picked up for the double AWP setup to possibly get it into the hands of a hybrid player like Bubble. They've opted against it for now, so it probably tells us they won't want to run the double AWPs on the CT side at all. 9. We'll look at that last round thinking, as soon as we lost short water, look at what happened from that point onwards.
Boost up for Bubble to contest short water here. Waiting for the squeaky door to open up. Perhaps there are smokes that are in the way. The two players in from underpass make their way into connector, and Propler is going to smoke off that position as the Molotov reaches the end of its life. He holds up Topcon's entrance. Minio, meanwhile, starts walking in. GruBy with a swing, sees 2 and just mows them down.
Yeah, perfect timing. I think Bubble was actually spamming through that boost wall just to pull a little bit of distraction. Kai, though, entry out towards Monster, makes it a couple in with his teammate. mupsg now the next one on the line. A defense doesn't even find anything, and now they can focus on the bomb plant.
Put it down immediately, 2v2. Force victory Zigzag to make their way into the retake. They've got one kit on Propler. mertz's AWP going to try and get bolstered as Hades swings. mertz trades him, goes back in towards Goofy. Where's he at? He's on for his 3K. Bomb tap once. There's a kit also on the site itself. Goofy with a slow walk, finds his angle at the right moment. Patience is a virtue, and Goofy has plenty of it.
And if I'm GruBy, I'm absolutely fuming at that round that they don't win it. I mean, he gets so much impact with that multi-frag. That's a 5-on-3. All they need to do from that point onwards is trade off of one another. Get themselves in some good positions on that B side, not allow the entry walkout from 9, and it collapses. And that's why we're seeing a tactical here from the international squad. They can't let that happen. Those are rounds you should not be losing.
And it's rounds that they've lost time after time. What's led to the one-sided scoreline we saw on Ancient and what has become a one-sided first half as of right now here for 9. 5 to the difference. Victory Zigzag could still usurp them to get the half advantage, but they're only one round away from gaining it of their own right here for the Polish squad. And we've seen how ineffective those tacticals have been at certain periods for Zigzag. And that last map they used up all 4, very little able to convert into rounds. Quick up from Propler into the forward stance on mid. There's plenty of backup around him here. Flashes are sent. The AWP and mertz been very good in this position here at Birthday Party. So much so he's got the top frag position of his team. Can he get the opening frag this time?
So they're trying to get mertz in for that opening kill and then Bubble to peek on the contact from long.
Oh, Flash causes that AWP to miss. Propler and Bubble will hold on to 2 picks to return. 4 on 3 for the CTs. You still have Hades up here in parked. I'm not sure if they're aware of this. He's checking that corner. Going to try and find an angle onto Bubble. Sees that shoulder and lands the kill.
And that's very good patience there from Hades, because he knew that Bubble was trapped. He knew that he was stuck out there towards that long cubby. Kai, walk out towards B. Good hold there from mertz, not to over-rotate at all and just wait for the timing. Kai tries that walkout beat solo, not with a teammate, not with the bomb. So it puts pressure onto Hades and Kyler to work a 2v3 in the mid-rounds.
His aggression has been key for 9 so far. On this particular instance, it might cost them the round. Advantage once again sits with the CT side, and 9 are forming up to a B here. Got 35 seconds to make it happen.
Yeah, mertz can play very defensive out here towards Graffiti right now. As soon as he hears contact or any util, or even if he sees anyone, he can tuck himself and wait for his teammate to get on the retake.
Smoke heaven, flash over. Mupp's not going to get caught by it. They should get the bomb onto the bomb site. The concern is the rotators, or Mups will certainly not be a concern. Kyler just eliminates him.
That's a very good shot. And now Hades is trying to look up here with that AWP. Very strong on the post plant. It's going to be Propler and GruBy to work together on this.
Slow push forward. GruBy needs to get to position. Propler making his way in. Spotted and sprayed. Kyler with a trade to an advantage. And GruBy, all that remains, engages 1, aware that the second player might be around there somewhere. Hades to reposition though, trying to get to cover, but he's got to go right up on the default. AWP's scope, he's forced GruBy off. The headshot's gained. Has he got enough time for this? Yes, he does with the kit. And they'll clutch out an all-important follow-up here for the CT side.
A good round there from GruBy. And that's an all-important one, and that would have felt like there for Victory Zigzag that they deserved that round. They had a very good sequence up there towards Party to put some pressure on. They had mertz with the man advantage out towards the B side, just gets clotheslined in there by the walkout, and slight jiggle there from Kyler. But in the end, it's a victory. But the issue that we could be facing right here for the international team, Jay, is every time they win a round, because they don't have mass players staying alive, they're on the verge of reset again. Or
at least 9's buy-up has been crippled somewhat. No longer up to the full AKs. AWP of Hades 1C. He's got an AK, but so does Kai. We're looking at a Galil, a Tech 9, a Mac 10 for 9. Galil with the first of those 3 weapons into the short control. A 4th man will join them in Hades there. B split seems to be on the table.
It's all going to be about this util. Good flashes. GruBy up on the contact, gets that first, drops that bomb, makes it 2.
Oh, Mupp struggles to hold defensive out there over at Monster. The 2 players with the AKs are the highest HP here as well. Goofy can upgrade to that M4. Hades and Kai will be the round winners here if the CT side wants to go for a retake. If Victory Zigzag will move to position, they are slowly getting there. But without kits, they're going to have to act much quicker than this. And yeah, they think it's better to save.
It's a tough call, because from the outset, it looks like you have to go for it. Money situation's not great for you. You know your opposition isn't on good money. If you get that retake and you're successful, you could make it a string of rounds in a row. But you also need to consider the fact that it's a 2v3. There's a lack of utility. You're both coming in from either Heaven and Graffiti. There's no one that can work in from that monster angle or the short control. Again, it's GruBy putting up that impact towards the B site. Bubble and mertz just getting overwhelmed by the utility. And 9, I mean, we haven't even seen them work towards A very much, have we? We've seen them take Fountain. We've seen them pressure Connector. We've seen a few extensions out there towards Party. But this has pretty much been 11 rounds in a row where they've just ended B.
Yeah, I think the pistol was the only time they went it towards A.
I think it just shows, right, that B is a massive weakness, and they can feel that in the mid-rounds.
Perhaps it's worth it to strengthen. AWP would have been nice to hold on the B site right now, knowing how much he just got decimated by these nades. Nine are also catching on to that AWP's position as standard in from mid. He's gone there time after time. And this time, it's led to his demise.
Yeah, Propler trying to see if he can make that info play, that extension out here towards Connector. It's all going to be a matter of timing because Kai's watching.
And he's catching. That's both the key rifles out of play for victory, Zigzag. Deagles on the other three. That's all that they can do here. Just hope for the headshots. Hope for the best. Nine are the ones that are in full control.
Hades just clearing out the majority of this long control. And they're playing very passive because they know that there's going to be continued info plays. They know that there's going to be overextensions. I mean, this is turning into a heavy gamble stack towards A, but they've only got pistols to defend against it.
Mups has also been naded down here. Bubble in the corner of bathrooms. Molotov out of position himself. Mups does catch Hades. That's one. Bubble gets nothing for his trouble. And GruBy, now with Mups' AK picked up, I think they're reading the fact that there was a gamble stacked there towards the A site, so the rotations are called in just as quick. Smokes at the ready. GruBy continuing to fight back in mid, trying to dish out some damage to Kyler. Semi-successful in that respect, but nothing that'll make a difference in terms of this round, in terms of the rotation of the bomb plant. Mups can hold on to the AK, so it's actually a respectable eco in that respect. But won't mean much for the round scoreline itself, at least for the defensive line. It's a 9-3 on the board here for 9. See if GruBy can get Kyler, get that AK out of play, but again, it's another one for the T side.
And it's just a very strange feeling to see Bubble in an international mixed squad that aren't keeping games competitive, even against strong opposition. I think when you follow a lot of the careers of mertz and Bubble and GruBy, you expect in these kind of games to at least keep a fight. You're not expecting them to win, or you're not expecting them to be able to not even lose a single map, but to be able to give their opponents a run for their money. But I think it shows the massive contrast of where 9 are in the world of Counter-Strike right now. That they can come into a game up against a mixed squad, up against some very experienced individuals, and not even be challenged. Have a very cruisy time.
Six to the good. That's what we've got so far. 9. Laying out Mups and GruBy already. The flashes over towards long on the site itself. Had to walk their way into position. They have tagged Minio down quite heavily here in this round. Going for that B end. Mups is going to catch off Kai. Eventually open things up for the CT side. Forced 9 to apply the brakes.
So Kai wanted to get on the front side of that smoke before the flashes had actually come in so he could get further in towards a contact. And Mups G, though, just jiggling down behind that smoke directly, is going to get a freebie onto Kai.
Goofy and Kyler walking in from short. Kyler and Hades are the only two players that haven't been damaged up, and Goofy and Minio being tagged to less than half or more so. GruBy watching and waiting. Kyler bursted upon. 5-on-3. Continuing to get worse here for the 9 side in this round. Is there any sort of way back? They've seen the bomb here, so they should call in those rotations, and it does get dropped alongside backup. Goofy 1-on-5. Should concede 4 back to the CT side.
Just to try and see if he could drop a couple more weapons, not allow massive amounts of AKs to get recovered. An excellent round coming through from GruBy, and I think he has been the standout entity. Yes, we've had some pretty impactful rounds from mertz, even if they have been few. I think GruBy's just been insanely consistent. A lot of frags out towards that B side, involved in the majority of round victories that we've seen on the CT side. And right there, not being faded by the util at all, keeping his eyes locked and keeping his attention drawn towards that boost angle.
Now down a Deagle here for 9. Based on one individual. Their buy-up is, of course, afforded for round 14 on most players, but Hades lesser so. Mups tagged to 25. mertz, no AWP available for him. GruBy's lined up 2 again outside a connector, I can believe. Kyler will return fire, at least get something back for the T side.
Just waiting on the other side of that smoke towards connector, seeing if there's a reface, seeing if anyone wants to try and get aggressive out there towards a short sandbag. This is not an easy round to work here at all from 9. Minio's at least shown that there's 2 out towards B. That's more information for them to work with. Flashing aggressively, another 1-for-1 trade.
Working better for Victory Zigzag. Hades and Kyler separated from each other for the time being. Hades can grab one of those rifles that were dropped there at water here. So, oh, he's made noise though. That's going to give up the ghost info to claim for the CT forces. But will it aid the Victory Zigzag defense?
There's still time on the clock. Now, Hades has only got a single flash. And Kyler's trying to get into position out towards Monster. So you should expect a flash here from Hades to at least get Kyler into a duel.
All Bubble will be blinded by it. Flash catches both individuals off, and Kyler wins that fight. Mertz all alone, held back at water. Kyler doesn't detect him. He swings out wide instead, and Mertz was so focused on the bomb site, expecting it to be an open plant or an open face. He thought wrong. That's 4 in this round for Kyler. With support from his teammates, yes. But he has brought things back into control for the 9 side. Propler now being faced upon. Kyler's hunting for the ace. Seems like he might just get it here. Nades to his position, held in the corner, ready for the swing, waiting for the chance. Propler checks the bomb site, tagged up so heavily. Kyler just stalling for time. Knows that he's won this round already.
Excellent. Look at that discipline, right? Like you say, he's setting himself up for the ace, right? Doesn't even commit to it, because he knows if I overextend, I offer up an individual duel. I offer up a way in which Propler can win that round. Excellent discipline once again. And it's 9 treating every single round as if it was the elimination, right? That they have to get every round up on the board. I mean, right there, that's another good chance from Victory Zigzag to make it 5, and they just can't close it down. They can't stop the B hits.
They just keep on coming. Early damage done to Hades. Unawares here for the Victory Zigzag camp. So unawares of what 9 are playing at, because they've also themselves gone passive. No more engagements up in mid. No more directive fights down over at Monster. Flashes in towards short to try and get some more map control for 9. Again, ready for the B execution. Got GruBy, Mups, and Bubble on defense.
Propler working with at least the shadow advantage and the walk forward in front of that bathrooms area. Kai out towards B, does get dropped by Bubble. So an opening pick, being able to get another there from Mertz out to the long control.
Again. 2 respectable frags, and Propler's caught napping. Kyler with the easiest swing in the world. And it forces the CTs to go passive on the A site.
CTs are making an info play out here towards the short water control, so they can get rotations up towards connector quickly.
GruBy ready for a fight, and Goofy still wins it. 3 on 3, he's also on 18 HP. Backstab's coming in. Hades going to get cut down by Bubble. Kyler can return fire. One more player in mid, though, in the bathrooms, undetected, ready for his moment to strike. And Goofy will not last much longer. 10-5, a slightly better scoreline for Victory Zigzag, but 9 still lead as we go to the second half after the break.
Nine might be on a 4-game losing streak, but they are only 6 rounds away from ending that and getting a winning streak potential on the board. Out here towards Monster, it looks quick and it looks fast.
It will be the opening kill for Goofy against Mups. GruBy desperate to get something, but mertz shoots him in the back. Minio can capitalize upon that TK discombobulation there in the short control. Goofy with a drive-by on Propler. That was quick from 9.
It just shows the importance of that short hold coming through from 9. The dual setup and the bait. The first one, a little bit wider up on the angle to try and draw the crosshairs up, to try and draw that pace in, looking tunnel visioned. And then all of a sudden, an off angle, tucked in the corner out there at the sandbag. It is destruction, and Victory Zigzag will not be happy about that round whatsoever. They'll still be looking to force up into round 17, though.
Got the Eagles and a scout. Bubble unsuccessful with the scout. Hades winning the battle against the sniper rifle. The Masters sent in for Kai. Slow walking, catching mertz off guard, knowing that he's low, seeing his back up there in Propler. Bomb drop. Mups can at least get the trade, but they've got info on 3 players at least, including the bomb carrier. With GruBy going down, they can start to adjust and closing the pincers on mertz and Mups.
It just shows the disrespect in this round as well from Nine's POV. I mean, they get an opening pick and they deal with Bubble, and then Kai's just instantly up. He's getting in their face. He's moving up towards Tikon. Yeah, it's a slight mistiming for a moment that he doesn't multi-frag there, but this force buy's been ripped, and there's just been no success that you can look at any point of view there from Victory Zigzag. And they go down once again to the scoreline differential. 7 to the difference. 4 more to go now for 9. And when you consider that 16-14 was a scoreline on map 1, you can have a look at Overpass and say at least it's more, but it doesn't feel like even close towards a victory. It doesn't feel like there's any positives here for the international squad other than the fact that they've just been pumped in this series.
Well, the only positive you could potentially take away from Overpass is the fact that they got 5 rounds as opposed to 4 over on Ancient, but when you're struggling for that kind of margin of difference and saying that's a positive, it does show how dominant 9 have been in this matchup. Nothing they can play with here in this round. The Glocks have at least combined with the nades to get a kill on towards one individual, but Hades and Minio are just ripping apart all entities that face them. Mups desperate to get a pick, desperate to get something out of this round, and it just doesn't happen. 13-5, guns back for the Zigzag camp. AKs available to them. AWP potential is there. If mertz really wants to go for it, he doesn't. 8 rounds to make up for the T's.
Now, Victory Zigzag, I'll be looking at trying to set up GruBy in this second half. And man was a machine out there towards that B site in the first. Get him set up with util, get him involved in some of the trades. 9 are trying to pressure out here towards Connector, trying to look in for that opening fight down there towards the short pipe on the boost.
Not seeing anything, dismantle it very quickly. Holding out for an extra few seconds. Probably could have netted them Mups. Instead, they will back out towards mid. Bubble hearing those footsteps is going to start the walk forward into mid. Start to gain some control. The Victory Zigzag.
Now, Hades is playing alone and by himself out here towards a long control, and there's a bit of a heavier rotation coming out towards that B side. Bubble deals with one of those A entities, so that's going to force the rotation of Goofy back up and at least reposition Hades more passively towards long.
Flash is sent. Goofy watching and waiting. Gets out of the way. The Molotovs. GruBy is caught in the end. 4 on 4. Orb still firing away. Goofy's waiting for his chance. He's not going to overextend here, though. He's going to wait for the T's to make their way in as Kyler takes point instead. Swings out. Forces mertz to drop. Forces the T-side players back. Bubbles AK now needs to engage, but Kyler gets him as Propler falls to Goofy's hands. Mups 1 on 4 and a clutch that he just cannot seem to win. The first fight drops into 17 HP. The second fight should lead to his death.
Now, you'll always notice that 9 on the city side, whether they've got a man advantage or not, there's movement. There's always movement, and you can see in that round right there, Hades gets a very good duel. Okay, yeah, it slows down towards the A side. There's a bit of a tuck out there towards that pizza angle, but as soon as they've got players in position, as soon as they've got enough rotates up from that B side, it's right. Let's make an info play. Let's get on the front foot. Let's be proactive in this approach, and it just catches Victory Zigzag sleeping completely. There's not a lot of hope left for these boys now.
came into this as plucky underdogs being successful at the open qualifier, but not a lot of results to their name, coming in as major underdogs versus a team that have been at the Tier 1 environment on a number of occasions. Squad that you can consider within that higher echelon of the Tier 2 space at least. GruBy gonna land onto mertz, continue to press the issue, continue to take control for 9.
It looked like it was a one-way smoke intentionally thrown there from 9 towards the other side of Monster. And try and give themselves that ability to look in for a fight, to grant themselves the first. And you could just see that the T's, they don't have a massive amount of map control right now. They're outside of Monster, they're out towards a short pipe. It has to be either a pop or a contact out to Monster.
Smokes in the way, flash is sent. Engagement's trying to find the player over at the toxic barrels. Mups and Bubble will go dropping. Still no trade, still no kills found against 9. Finally, GruBy's going to change that on Minio. Maybe GruBy could also drop here at 11 points of health. He's not in the ideal position. The flashbang sent, though. GruBy's blinded, takes some more damage, finally spots his target. Still can't capitalize upon the kill. Gets one, Kai responds, and Propler, a 1v3 clutch. Bomb dropped in the open, known to the CT side. Now he's known to the CT side, and GruBy is there to close it. Match point for 9.
They're looking to close without any issues whatsoever. And I think it shows not only the ability of time of being together as a cohesive unit and team with this iteration of 9 and with this organization, but the previous establishments on Aves and out on Anonymo and the history that these players have together are looking incredibly well drilled today and looking to be what has to be known as the biggest threat right now in this entire closed qualifier.
Well, certainly starting things off on the right foot. 9 decimating the opposition so far and looking to close out in that sort of fashion. mertz and Minio go back and forth with each other in from the short and connect to control. 4-on-4 situation. Kai's got a lineup. Only gets 1 kill for it. Hades ready for its backup. The bomb carrier could get dropped here. Either way in this 3-on-3, low HP for 2 players. This seems like 9 are going to close it.
Mups G, oh, just when you thought there was going to be a timing, Minio starts taking all of the map control away out here towards the short pipe, and he's extending and right into the T hands.
Easy picking to Minio, especially as GruBy draws attention away from the forward stance. He's going to hear those footsteps. He'll understand and call in the information that, yes, they are rotating back into that A site. So 9 adjust. Again, they've got everything in their favor.
Yeah, rotate both of those players up towards A. Have to rotate down towards connector in case there is a split in there. But towards a long control, this is a perfect read. And with GruBy and Bubble tagged up like they are, there should be absolutely no chance that they can even stake foot in this A site.
Shots of Hades missing out, but has seen the bomb carrier. Locks on the GruBy, looks for the last man of Bubble. 1-on-3 for him on a clutch, an impossible one to take, and there he goes. 16-5, 2-0, absolute decimation from the 9 side. And the worst case scenario that we expected to be semi-likely. We hope that Victory Zigzag will put up a fight. That's not happened in this case. They're down in the lower bracket as 9 move forward to the semis.
And 9 only lose 9 rounds. I mean, that's crazy to think about.